You were complaining in one of my figure news fix videos that where is my ELAC? I am angry, I am mad that there are no ELAC figures. Your complaint has been heard, my friend. Hi and welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven with your Wonder Festival Shanghai 2025 anime figure update. Another big figure event barely a week after Megahobby Expo last week, so I have been extremely busy collecting content. And for OneFest Shanghai, things are a lot harder. It is the most difficult event to cover every year for a few reasons, right? The first problem with OneFest Shanghai is that it tends to take place on National Holiday Week in China. In case you guys are unaware of, for this year, 1st of October to 8th of October 2025, it is a National Holiday Week in China. If you purchase or pre-order anything from Chinese websites like OSGK, you will get delayed response, and that is normal. So we have this event taking place in China on a holiday week, and it is taking place on a weekday, 2nd and 3rd of October. I have no idea why they do that, but it is a weekday, which means coverage is going to be even harder because for us, most YouTubers or even figure website bloggers, we have a day job, right? We can only do our content after we are done with our day job, so there will be delays in collecting and publishing content, and content is also very fragmented. This is the biggest problem over here, regardless of which source I turn to. Hobby Dengeki or Fixoku or guruberries.com, there are so many sources to look out, even on Twitter. The biggest problem is that everything is so fragmented, and these Japanese websites, Hobby Dengeki, Fixoku, and a few others, Ami as well, their own blog, they often do not report on Chinese figures, specifically the licensed Chinese resin brands like Jomatal Studio, Unique Art Studio, PJ Studio, all these things, they appeared. They had big booths in OneFest Shanghai, but we got nothing. We don't have pictures other than a few Facebook posts of people who visited OneFest Shanghai. We don't have posts in MFC, myfigurecollection.net. Nobody were even updating the photographs or the new figure listings over there. It was very difficult, right? I had to cross-check 4 or 5 different sources, hoping that I don't miss out on anything, and each time I cross-check, I find out that something is missing from my coverage, and then I need to update again. Since Tuesday, in fact, Tuesday or Wednesday. So I'm praying that at least for today's OneFest Shanghai coverage, I covered 90 or even 95% of all of the figures, hopefully. And I won't be touching those Chinese resin brand figures like PJ Studio, all those I just mentioned earlier, because I couldn't find a source, a reliable one, and to make sure that I tick every box, right? So I will be focusing on the typical PVC figures that you all are familiar with, Good Smile, Max Factory, Hobby Sakura, and so on. But I'm going to show you guys a bit of photographs over here on my screen. So I am leaving 2 or 3 links down in the description below. You can check them out. For example, this Facebook post over here by Subaru Shimizu. Not a real name, I suppose. Just like how you go to Starbucks and then they ask you, what is your name? You tell them Chun Chun Maru, right? Yeah. So this guy over here, he posted a Wonder Festival photo dump, and there are a lot of Chinese brand figures over here. There is another one over here by Subaru as well. I think this is part 1. Yep. You see all these Chinese resin statues. They're usually 1x6 or 1x4. This is from Linkage, right? So many of them, right? So this is not a complete list, but I'm leaving the links for you guys to check it out if you wish to do so. These are public posts, right? And here's another post by Isaac Perez in this Facebook group. He posted a few video clips from OneFest Shanghai. If you're interested, you can check it out. Link in the descriptions below. So I won't be covering these resin figures out of China. As usual, I have compiled all of the figures over here in alphabetical order according to manufacturer, Alphamax, Alter, Anigame, and so on, all the way to the last company. And on the top right corner of this video, you get to see the figure's name at least. Like this one over here, A.L. Bartolomeo Solione. That is Bartolomeo from Arzalane, right? This is by Alphamax. So the brand name is on the top left corner, Alphamax, the name of the folder. This is for easy reference. Meanwhile, this figure of Bartolomeo over here, this is a 1x4 scale, and this has been announced 1 or 2 Wonder Festivals ago, since OneFest Winter earlier this year, I think. So there are no updates, still in grey prototype status. I was trying to filter things down to only the new figures in this event and not include stuff that has been announced before without any updates like this one over here. But due to the difficulties in collecting materials for this event, I decided to include everything so that I don't miss out on anything. Yeah, so this is going to be a long video today. Also, I will be covering some action figures and Nendoroids for once, for the same reason. Moving up next, we have a 1x4 scale Azalane Chikuma. Same thing from the previous OneFest and no updates yet. Alphamax couldn't resist that Azalane cash, right? They used to make a lot of edgy figures under SkyTube, but now, yeah, they're sucking up to Azalane. Here we have Shinano from Azalane as well. Also not a new figure and no updates. But this figure over here, once she actually goes on pre-order, I can see people queuing up for her. Next one here, this is new. 1x4 scale Kearsarge Dakimakura version from Azalane. And of course, the main feature, the main highlight of this figure is her right hand. No, her left arm, not right. Her left hand squeezing her soft, squishy oshiri, her soft backside. And just by looking at the figure, you'll feel that it is a soft figure, but it isn't. Like, the sculpting is excellent. Yeah. It is giving us the impression of her backside being actually that soft, even though it is solid PVC. Yeah, very nice work from Alphamax over here. And then the next one over here, this is also new in this event. We have Azalane Franklin, Nurse Exciting Medical Record version 1x4 scale. It seems like like 2 or 3 different companies are picking up on these characters a lot lately. Specifically, Kearsarge and Franklin. We're starting to see more figures of these 2 characters. And this is the display of Alphamax booth. Yeah. Alphamax also makes action figures, in case you guys are unaware of, though I personally, I don't know much about them. This one right here, Yggdrasion Harabin. No idea what it is. Action figure. Looks pretty cool though. And pretty edgy as well. As you can see, the character design, barely anything covering her opai. Next one here, also from Yggdrasion, Nitzvila. That's the name, Nitzvila. Once again, I have no clue who this is, but character design is excellent. I love it. It is like half fantasy, half science fiction. And here we have another display of the same figure. So that is it for Alphamax. I don't want to drag things too long. Moving on to Alter. Surprisingly, Alter did show up in OneFest Shanghai, but they had a tiny booth, right? I thought they won't appear because they were already a big participant in Megahobby Expo last week, but they announced another Azalane figure. It is Anchorage, this one. And this is the only one single photograph I can find. It is not even a prototype, just an acrylic standee over here, so there's nothing much to discuss. The next one here, okay, this is the artwork that the figure is based on. Though I don't think that Alter will give us everything in this image over here, especially the boat base. I don't think Alter will do that. They'll give us that manju, that KFC though, but not the base, I think. That would be very expensive. Up next, we have a new Kasugano Sora figure from Alter, and it is another Chinese dress version. I don't know how many of these Alter intends to make, but I appreciate that it is a new figure instead of re-releasing the ones that came out before. They have released at least 3 others when it comes to Chinese dress Kasugano Sora figures. I used to own one of them, the one in black Chinese dress. That was a limited version. Great figure. Everyone loves Sora, best emoto, for obvious reasons. If you haven't watched the anime adaptation, please watch it. With your doors locked, of course. Up next, okay, this is the same figure from last week from Megahobby Expo. We have Blanc 1x7 scale and Noah 1x7 scale from Nikke. So that is all from Alter, nothing much. Moving on to the next brand, Anigame. We have 4 figures over here. This is an update from the previous OneFest. Azalane Fargo, she has finally been painted, right? In the previous event, she wasn't painted yet. Looking pretty good. And this has to be 1x6 scale. I did not confirm it, but it has to be 1/6 because every single Azalane figure by this brand, they are all 1/6, which is great. For those of you who wants Azalin figures but you don't want to pay 30,000 yen for Ultra stuff, right? Then this brand Anigame, they offer you Azalin figures at 1/6 scale at roughly 20,000 yen. Some figures are a bit more expensive, like A Gear was 25k because of her base, but on average they cost 20,000 yen roughly, and I expect this FuRyu figure to cost roughly 20,000 yen or less than that. Okay, next one here, Franklin again. Yeah, Franklin is getting a lot of figures, and this is quite the fan service we are getting. I can't say I expected any game to go for such a daring design, but Azalin is all about fan service nowadays. We don't even get ship parts anymore. Next one, okay, finally this Owari has been painted. Yeah, this one won't cost 20k obviously, maybe at least 30k if not more than that. And someone commented in my Discord server, well, link in the descriptions below if you want to join. Someone commented, where is the open legs version? Yes, there are two versions of this figure. Exactly the same upper design, the same base, but there is a second version where her legs are wide open, right? Like sitting pose. And there were no pictures of that in this event, so maybe it is not ready yet. Would you choose this more elegant looking version, or would you choose the open leg version? I would love to hear your opinion on that. Looking good so far, but you know what? People are already enjoying their new Owari figures. I think there was one already released. Was it the Apex Toys one that came out this month? And then another one coming next month is the Good Smile one, right? Yeah. Up next, the last figure over here, two figures, UMP9 and UMP45 from Girls Frontline. And this was the only picture I could find, right? No clearer pictures, unfortunately. It is a big problem with One Fest Shanghai in general. Low quality pictures, or I just couldn't find material or information at all. Up next would be Animester. Animester makes action figures and also scale figures. So this thing over here is an action figure, Epsif Green, 1/9 scale action figure, and they actually have a sample over here. Looks pretty good. And from what I'm seeing, Animester actually reinforces some of the action figures with metal parts inside their joints, which is very interesting. Yeah. Up next, this is my favorite action figure from them, and it has to be Sophia F. Shering, right? You would be surprised by the sheer number of Sophia F. Shering figures in this event. Way too many. She is the new Super Sonico. 10 years ago, everywhere we saw Super Sonicos. Now 10 years later, in 2025, everywhere you see Sophia F. Shering. For a character like this, I don't mind action figures because there are a lot of mecha parts, right? So you won't have ugly joints in a way. The joints are mecha parts. Yeah, looks pretty good over here. Moving up next, we have Desire Witch Liliana, probably an original character. I almost mistook her as Owari or something. This is 1/12 scale, and interestingly, there is a Hadaka part right between her legs, a separate optional part, right? And as you can see, the ball joint around the waist region and also the two metal joints around her thigh, they are metal, they are die cast. These Chinese brands are finding ways to improve upon action figures, right? Like the problem with Figmas, Revoltech, or anything else, even some lower grade Gunplas, their plastic joints become loose over time. I hope that metal is better in this regard, but I can't be sure. Yeah, I haven't purchased anything like this before. Up next, this Dontan Barney figure, 1/6, right? 1/6 by Animester, already on pre-order. So they displayed it in this event. It is looking normal, like nothing too special, right? But that is to be expected for a low budget scale figure around 7,000 yen. And then we have action figure. Okay, this one, I don't know what is the name. I did not rename the image over here. I couldn't find it on myfigurecollection.net, right? I think it was a Japanese website that posted these pictures, and they did not identify or name the figure. And then I tried to cross-check with MFC. I couldn't find anything. Nowadays, myfigurecollection.net isn't like 10 years ago. The moment a new figure was announced back then, 8-10 years ago, within minutes or within an hour, you will see someone update the database and upload pictures. That is no longer the case today. Sometimes you wait for days before the figure is being added to the database. Not as good as in the past, right? So at the time of recording this video, I couldn't identify this figure. Yeah. The same thing applies to this one over here. I also couldn't identify it. Action figure by Animester and looking great. That smug face is excellent. If I could read Japanese, then maybe I would be able to identify the figures, but I can't read. Yeah. Next picture over here, same thing. I couldn't read the Japanese words over there other than the first row. Red Lotus Padma. If I read that in Chinese, that is Red Lotus, the first two words over there. Red Lotus Padma, 1/9 scale action figure. Looks great. Looks like something straight out of Cyberpunk. Yeah. And then the next one here, we have Girls Frontline Kuru Kai Speedster. 1/12 scale. The bike, I suppose. Yeah. And this is also something from the previous One Fest, not new. Up next, we have 1/9 scale Holy Spirit Warrior Knight Hunter Nina. Illustrated by Love Kakao, 1/9 scale action figure. Man, imagine if this gets made into a premium scale figure. I would love to see that happen, man. The character design is very intricate. Next one here, okay, the same character. Hunter Nina, the actual figure, prototype. And then we have Holy Spirit Warrior Silver Blade Talia, 1/12 scale, no, 1/9. This is 1/9 scale, and they also have a rough prototype illustrated by Kakao. Yep, this prototype right here. Hold on a second. This picture says 1/9, but the next one here, you look at the sign beneath, 1/12 scale. So which one is it? Which one is correct? Would be funny if they put the wrong info. And I wonder why they set on 1/9 scale, not 1/8, not 1/10 or other scale. 1/9 is very specific. Next one here, original character Luna. That's it. This is 1/12 scale. And the last one here, I think, minifigures Thunderbolt Squad must be original characters. And that is all for Animester. Now we move on to the next brand, Aniplex. They also showed up with a small booth. They have these chibi figures from Demon Slayer, Tanjiro, Nezuko, Inosuke, and what is this dude's name again? I'm bad at remembering names. Zenitsu, yes. So 4 chibi figures, and then we have Saber. So this is actually made by Apex Toys, right? This figure, a collaboration between Aniplex and Apex Toys. This is actually Apex Toys 1/7 scale Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works and Honkai Star Rail collaboration. Yeah, I'm actually aware of the collaboration. Saber Ultra Pendragon. Interesting. We finally got a Vanilla Saber figure. Is this Vanilla Saber? No. She's wearing some kind of dress. Not in armor, but I welcome any Saber figure. This one is looking great, and the fact that Apex Toys is making this figure, yeah, I have high expectations. I expect this one to turn out good, and will I buy one? Yes, most likely. I am a Saber face addict. Alright, next one here, this is from previous One Fest. Anna Yanami from Makeine Heroine, nothing new over here. And lastly, Plastic Memories Isla, or is it Isla? Isla, how to pronounce that? ISLA. I believe this was also announced in a previous event, right? I can't be sure. But Plastic Memories, very interesting choice. The anime ad, like several years ago, it was a set anime. 24 episodes, I believe. I don't even remember anymore. I watched the anime so many years ago. And now they are choosing to make a scale figure. Very interesting choice. I don't know what Aniplex is thinking over here. Right, moving on to the next brand, Apex Toys. That's right. So Apex Toys, they appeared in Megahobby Expo last week, and that isn't enough. They announced more this week. Fortunately, not too many figures this time around. So this is Azalane Admiral Nakimov. Up to this point, we only saw third parties making figures of her. Finally, Apex Toys has hopped on board. Right, Nakimov, I like her character actually. And this is looking very nice. Doesn't look like something from Azalane, isn't it? Looks like something from a more science fiction-ish, cyberpunk style anime or game. That's the thing with Azalane, in my opinion. It feels like this franchise has some kind of identity crisis. It started out as a ship girl game with character designs that, subjectively speaking, are way better than Kantai collection. I know Kantai fans are going to be pissed at this, but I do find Azalene's characters to be way nicer. But anyways, it started as a ship girl game. And now by 2023 even, or 2025 today, I'm not sure what we're getting anymore other than just pretty girls. Yeah. Up next, okay, this Elsa from Azalene has finally been painted, and I just couldn't stop staring on her blade wings. Yeah, the wings look fabulous. It looks like real metal to me that is just painting. I almost want one. I'm trying to avoid buying too many Azalene figures, but when I see this thing, I almost want one. This won't be cheap. I'm predicting 30 to 35k, but if she ends up being 40k, I wouldn't be surprised either. Yeah. Just like the New Jersey wedding dress version by Apex Toys. Next one here, we have Devonshire from Azalene. Wow. Reminds me of that character from FuRyu as well. That demon that she had. Yeah, she ended up cutting off her own head. What's her name again? Looks like her, really. And I suppose that they need to include the KFC in every Azalene figure. This one also gets one over there. And the pink object that KFC is holding, Manju is holding, is a bit sus. I have a dirty mind to say, but this figure, including the base, looks fabulous, and I think it is the base that makes this figure stand out a lot more. Imagine if you're getting a plain plastic disc base, or maybe a pillow. Yeah, this figure wouldn't be as unique, right? I think this base really elevates the figure a lot more. Very nice. And that heavy shading on her purple hair, making me want the figure. Up next, we have Friedrich de Grob. Okay, I can't pronounce this name. This is in German, right? Friedrich de something. Okay, Azalene as well, still unpainted. This is a new announcement. And then the next one, we have Perseus from Azalene. With Perseus, we have so many options of her, but will I prefer this one or the altar one? The one sitting on a chair, right, in nurse outfit? I like this one quite a bit because of all of the props she comes with, the bed, and then what is that thing in front of her? Looks like an owl or chicken. I think they are completely different figures, like the altar version and this version, they are very different, that if you choose to buy both, I can see why. I mean, they are very different. Looking great so far. And then up next, we have Sirius from Azalene. Now this time around, I prefer the one by Apex Toys over the one by Alter I covered last week in Megahobby Expo, where she is wearing almost no clothes other than a pair of very small cloth on her opai over here. Now this one is a bit more modest, but it looks good for some reason. And this one also reminds me of Alter's, that lolly character. What's her name again? I have her figure, right? Reminds me of that figure, Lemalin. Yes, Alter's Lemalin is wearing something very similar and also holds a carrot in her hand. Maybe this figure will go very well next to Lemalin. Maybe. Hopefully the scale won't be weird, right? Because Alter's Lemalin was so big that it is 1/6, I think. Alter's Lemalin, that's the problem. So this one will look very small next to her. And then here we have Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball Neo Tango. Yup, this was a prototype. No, it was an announcement before this. Now we have a prototype. Looking good so far. And HK416 from Girls Frontline 2. Man, I'm trying so hard to avoid Girls Frontline. I don't need more money pits, but that mecha dog over there is making me want the figure. The science fiction vibe coming out of this thing. Many options for this character, HK416, in the figure market, but this one is among the best already. Yeah, and she's not even on pre-order yet. Price prediction, I would say 25k. Yeah, that is my prediction. Up next, we have Gyakuten Saiban. What's the name again? Ace Attorney, right? Okay, Naruhodo Ryuichi and Mitsurugi Reiji. Telling each other, no, you are wrong, I'm right. That's how attorneys argue in court. And it is interesting that they decided to make this into a 3D photo frame of sorts. I'm not sure if it is a good idea, but it certainly is a bit unique over here. Will I get one? Absolutely not. Up next, we have Zenless Zone Zero. So, this event, in a way, if you put aside Azalene or Sophia F. Shering or even Nikke, Zenless Zone Zero is the main highlight of Fest Shanghai. So the first one here, Evelyn Chevalier. This is Lime Pie, low budget figure, 1/8 scale. They are roughly 6,000 yen. And the next one here, this is also an Apex Toys Lime Pie low budget figure, Hoshimi Miyabi. So 2 budget Lime Pie figures and another 4 premium scale figures over here. The first one, Astra Yao from Triple Z. I'll just call it Triple Z from this point onwards. Same base as the other Zenless figures at the moment, I think. Same base over there. And then the next one here, Evelyn Chevalier as well. Of course, I would take this over the low budget figures. And then what do we have? Hoshimi Miyabi. This is going to be really expensive. Maybe between 25 to 30,000 yen. Yes, but it is worth it. These very dynamic pose and that diorama base over there. This thing is perhaps the best figure from Apex Toys in this event, right? So, oh, there's one more. Jane Doe. I forgot about her. How can I forget about her? Jane Doe, same base as the existing Zenless figures, but yeah, very welcome. Should be roughly 20 to 22,000 yen. And yep, this is the last figure from Apex Toys. Not a big list, but they are all excellent. Alright, moving on to the next brand over here, ASCENDIA, 1 single figure. Chinese brand, yes. Barney Suit planning Sophia F. Sharing again in this cowboy outfit. Yeah. Interesting outfit design, right? Scale figure, 1/6 scale. I wonder how much this will cost. It is based on an artwork by Nadare. ASCENDIA as a brand, their figures are roughly 15 to 20,000 yen currently, but this thing is a bit more detailed. I would say 20,000 yen maybe. Yeah, I'm just guessing. I'm not sure if I'm right or wrong. Alright, let's go back and move on to Astrum Design, 1 single figure. Diablos Core Aimer Honey Assault. So when I saw this figure, I was laughing. I mean, as a Malaysian, our national fruit is the durian. And she is smashing a durian instead of a watermelon on the beach. Very interesting. Something new for once. The reason why they are making her smash a durian is probably because they are trying to preserve the watermelons. I mean, that pair of watermelons on her chest, for you to enjoy it yourself later, right? And she comes with an extra faceplate. You can have her displayed with a blindfold or without on one eye. I would personally choose her with the blindfold because that makes her different from other anime figures, right? I wasn't planning on buying anything from Astrum Design anytime soon, but this figure is so unique. And with a durian, hey, they have my attention. Right, 1 figure only from Astrum Design. Now, moving on to AthenaX. Wow. This is an original character by Trent, right? Shigu-chan, that's her name. That is her own tail, I think. It is not a tentacle. Original character, it is something that either you like or you don't. It depends on whether you like the artwork or not. Do I like it? Kind of. I love my lollies, but this is not my favorite. Not even close, right? Okay, let's go back and move on to the next figure brand, Bibi Buttons. This is a brand that I have been keeping an eye on because they are making fabulous figures, right? They already released quite a few scale figures out there. They are roughly 20,000 yen each. And you should check out the user pictures of the figures made by this brand in MFC. They are so good that it is hard to believe that this is a very new brand. I think it could be a branch of an existing, more experienced figure brand, you know? Like, it is way too good for a company that is so new and so inexperienced. Anyways, that could only be a good thing, right? So the first one here from CCC, Chalco Soma. Sincere Prayer. Okay, so with Chalco Soma, there is an existing figure of her. I nearly purchased it actually. It was in stock in a local figure store in my hometown over here. It was a really tall figure and I can't remember which brand made it. It was a Chinese brand. It was very affordable. And now we are getting a second Chalco Soma CC figure. Interesting. I like the pose on this one a lot more for very obvious reasons. A lot more attractive, a lot more seductive. This is just an announcement no prototype yet. Next one here, we have Girls Frontline 2 deformed figure set over here. Very adorable indeed. And then the next one here, we have Girls Frontline 2 HK416 again. Kurokai Speedster version. Basically the same version we saw Animester made a 1x12 scale earlier, the bike at least. So this picture over here, this colored sample, I obtained it just yesterday. Meanwhile, Bibi Buttons, yeah, they showed this picture a few days earlier during One Fest, and then 2 days later, we got a painted version. This is the problem with One Fest Shanghai. Things are so fragmented. But this is looking good. However, I'm sorry, Bibi Buttons. I'm leaning towards the one by Apex Toys earlier. That would be my first choice. This is a close second place because her rifle is just so detailed. I am a details person. So yeah, this thing also appeals to me. Up next, we have original character by Neko. Uninvisible territory, I think. Wrong typing over there. Fragrant flowers. Okay, so they are getting into Neko art as well. The problem with Neko art is that their figures bargain bin a lot, and I know this is too early when the figure does not even have a prototype yet. I'm saying that it will bargain bin. Wing Company and Mietos, they have a series of Neko art figures, futuristic, science fiction style figures, original characters. They looked amazing. The problem with these figures, even though they are pretty affordable to begin with, roughly 18,000 yen max, you give it a few months after release, they will bargain bin, inevitably. So, not good, right? I mean, good for us looking for a bargain, but not good for the company, I suppose. And lastly, this is probably my favorite figure from Bibi Buttons, even though it is just an announcement. Original character by Rico, the Tiger's Scarlet Wind Byako. I know we will get the figure only, not the white tiger, but if we get both as a deluxe version, that would be nice. This is my kind of lolly. This is the kind I like. Alright, so that is all for Bibi Buttons over here. We move on to the next brand, Calbone. So it was just a recent week, Calbone put a figure from Senkan Shoujo R on pre-order, right, for just under 22,000 yen. More coming in this event, but the first one here, Girls Frontline again, and it has to be HK416. Very popular character. This one looks promising because of the base, right? I love my details, so this thing also has my attention. I'm not sure how to choose now between this one or the one by Bibi Buttons or the one by Apex Toys. All of them look amazing. Up next, we have, okay, another picture of the same figure from a different angle. Not that we can tell much because the light is too harsh over here, right? We can't see the fine details. Moving up next, we have Girls Frontline 2 chibi figures, Leva, Glukai, and Vector. No comment. I don't collect these kind of things. And next, we have PA15, of course. Everyone makes figure of PA15's Fat Company. They love PA15 so much. Now we get another one by Calbone. Hopefully she doesn't bin. Yeah. And then here we have original character by Dish, Murakami Maria. With that halo on her head, the first thing I'm going to assume, yeah, Blue Archive, but it is not. Because I'm not very familiar with these artists that draw original characters that are made into figures, right? Another picture over here, yeah, I obtained the same picture of the same figure from two different sources. So depends on which one is clearer. I think this one is a bit clearer over here. And then next one here from Senkan Shoujo R, we have 1913 Battle Cruiser. MILF, right? Who love MILFs? Up next, this character really looks like Ishtar or Rin Tosaka from the Fate series, but it is not. Senkan Shoujo R 1913 Battle Cruiser 2. Wait, same character. These two are supposedly the same character. Yes, I have verified it beforehand in MFC, the same character, but two separate figures, two different figures. I just couldn't stop staring at her face because she really looks like Tosaka Rin to me. And then the next one here, okay, Battle Cruiser again, a clearer picture. Looks like a summer or swimsuit version to me, but the face looks really good. And then here we have Senkan Shoujo R Lexington. Right. And this is the artwork the figure is based on. Wouldn't it be nice if I can buy the entire diorama, including everything in the background? And another picture of the same figure, Lexington, over here. And that is all for Calbone, a Chinese figure brand, by the way. Now we shall move on to the next figure brand, Ensoutoys. Yup, Chinese as well. Original character by D-Smile, Dear Smile Lily. Original character. Well, this is too safe for work, too innocent. And then the next one here, this looks nice. Original character by Ulrich, Cyberpets Onyx. Oh. And also, same artist, Cyberpets Silky. Yep, Ensoutoys, they make a lot of original character figures and they are not too expensive. They are also between the 15,000 to 20,000 yen price range nowadays. Can't really comment much when I'm seeing only a grey prototype over here. The next figure brand is EUSUN, a low-budget Chinese figure brand, and they only had one figure over here. Original character by Ming Yao, and her name is Chlorine. Yeah, the stuff you pour into swimming pools to disinfect the water. Chlorine. What the heck? What kind of name is that? Very nice shading on her hair and on her white shirt, but the colors are a bit bland. Not my kind of thing. Yeah. Moving on to the next figure brand, that would be Fantastic Hobby. Okay, so this is a new figure brand, a branch by Weaver Studio. So Weaver Studio has this branch called CherryLight, a new brand. And when these two companies are working together, it is called Fantastic Hobby. What the heck? Making simple things complicated for no reason. Okay, so the first one here is Atelier Yumiya. Yeah, Yumiya Lisfeld, based on this artwork over here. She's not getting as many figures as Ryza somehow, like very slowly. The next one from CherryLight, Super Sonico. All we get is this picture over here. I'm not even sure what version this is. Looks like she's holding cake, I think. And up next, the last one here, only 3 figures. This is from Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark Magician Girl. On display, I still like the one by Max Factory a bit more. That one has been re-released like twice already. Yup. And they even have this official picture. I think this figure is very close to pre-order. Maybe in a week or two. Yeah. Alright. Moving up next is FreeInk. Okay, so FreeInk actually had 3 figures, and the third figure was only updated in MFC a few hours ago. I nearly missed out on it. So this is Nikke, the Killer Wife. She has finally been painted. Yep, it is a 1x4 scale. Will I get it? Very unlikely, because it is too simple, too plain. The next one here, this is the new figure that was just updated hours ago. Nikke Marciana. Once again, very underwhelming. Like, I almost feel like I'm looking at an oversized price figure, if anything, but I understand that this is an unfinished product. It is so common to see a figure that is not as impressive in events, and then weeks later when pre-order opens, you look at official product pictures, they look way better than what you saw just a month ago, right? So I won't jump to conclusions yet, but regardless of that, I look at the character design and the outfit she's wearing, it is a no for me. And the last one here, unpainted yet, Mihara, 1x4 scale from Nikke as well. Now the character design and the outfit on this is so much nicer. Look at all of the details on the dress, on her opai and the waist region. This is the kind of thing I want to see in figures. 1x4 scale as well, so only 3 figures from FreeInk. Hopefully I did not miss out on anything else. The next figure brand is FuRyu, where they had 2 new figures over here. The first one is, this is Elena, Nekomimi Cafe version. We have more than enough Elena figures, we don't need more, seriously. And here we have Suo Yuki from Tokidoki Bosoto Russia, blah blah blah, long title. I loved the anime, I've said it like 69 times by now, and we need a season 2. Best Imoto, when she teases the brother, right? So only 2 new figures from FuRyu and FNEX. Moving up next, we have a new figure brand called GALACTIC. And all they had is this picture over here. Yeah. So we have new product and no name. Wait, Otherware. Why is Otherware behind Is Galactic a branch of Otherware? Maybe it is, right? I mean, look at the Otherware logo behind there. Because I don't remember this brand appearing in this event, I don't think they participated. Otherware is an 18 plus figure brand together with Party Look, right? I think Otherware is the safe for work version and then Party Look is the 18 plus version. Anyways, this is the picture I got and no details, no name, no artist, nothing. Yeah. I see. Galactic must be the action figure branch of Otherware. I just noticed that they are all 1/12 scale and all of the small parts over there, the figures over here are jointed. Action figure branch of Otherware, I think. Very interesting. And this looks like original characters, all of them. Alright, moving on to the next brand, we have Golden Head Plus. So nothing new from Golden Head, 2 figures over here in displayed in the event. Fatal Fury Mai Shiranui and Kula Diamond from King of Fighters 15. Nothing new from Golden Head Plus. After all, they just appeared in One Fest a month ago. Up next, Good Smile Company. Alright, so we have quite a few stuff to go through over here. First up is Azalane Formidable Muse Weapon version. I feel bad for whichever brand that makes a figure of Formidable. It can be Good Smile, it can be anyone else, but because there is no chance they are beating the one by Alter that is already out by now. Yeah, the one where she's winking her eyes, that one is already perfection. You can't top that one. Her dress is nice. I love her dress, but alright, I will stop comparing to Alter. Let's guess the price instead, because this figure looks pretty complete. They have done all of the shading, the paintwork and everything. I believe this figure will pre-order open very soon, in just a matter of weeks. So let's guess the price. My guess is 22,727 yen before taxes. Let's see if I'm correct when this one PO opens. I know, very specific number, but when I do figure news every week and I observe so many things, I think I can narrow the numbers down to a very small margin. Let's hope I'm not wrong on this one. Even if I'm wrong, it shouldn't be far off. It is either 22,000 plus yen or 25 plus. Yeah, it won't be more than 25k, I think. Up next, we have Azalane Howden Liu. For some reason, whenever I see this character, Howden Liu, the first thing that comes to mind is, yeah, cows. I don't know why. Reminds me of cows. Must be her big mommy milkers, I guess. So, scale figure from Good Smile Arts Shanghai, by the way. So, this is also by Good Smile Arts Shanghai, if I'm not mistaken. So, when I say Good Smile, I'm including everything from both Good Smile Company and Good Smile Arts Shanghai. Up next, Good Smile Arts Shanghai as well, we have Mogador All Factory Nurse Call version. I think Fat's Company is also making the same exact figure, isn't it? We saw it in One Fest Summer, also an announcement like this, but Fat Company's image was yellow color because that is their brand color. I think it is the same exact figure, and in this case, I would trust Good Smile over Fat Company when it comes to quality. Up next, Azalane no Shiro Tsukihana no Yudokoro version, also Good Smile Arts Shanghai, basically onsen version. What a pointlessly long title for onsen version. And this time around, we get 2 KFCs over there. Up next, we have Taiho again. She sure is very popular. Yup, Barney Taiho, Red Barney version, Good Smile Arts Shanghai. And then we have Blue Archive Asuna Uniform Memorial Lobby version. I still prefer the Barney suit version I have, the one by Max Factory, and unfortunately I have decided to sell Asuma Toki. Yeah, the Barney version also by Max Factory. I think the more I look at that figure, the more it feels boring to look at. Yeah, a bit too bland, that figure. Even though she's supposedly a pair with Asuna, I'm keeping my Asuna, not letting go of her, but Asuma Toki, I've put her on sale, but so far there are no takers yet. Because people hate the hole in her right knee, I suppose. That is not a problem to me, to be honest. Up next, oh, finally Hoshino has been painted. Yeah, the riot shield and the shotgun. You know, when this figure was revealed in One Fest a few months back. I was so excited, right? I even made her a main highlight of that event. I think it was One Fest Winter in February. Now seeing her painted, I want her even more. I haven't been buying many Blue Archive figures. I have been very selective, but this one, yeah, just for the details alone, I want it. Right, up next we have, this is a Hyper Body action figure line by Good Smile Company. Blue Archive Hyper Body Hibiki Cheer Squad. If I would get a figure of Hibiki, I would get the cheerleader version with the really blushed, really shy face. Which company was that? Was it Golden Head Plus or was it Good Smile? Can't remember, right? Because I cover so many figures, I get confused. Yeah, that cheerleader version was excellent, but I think the aftermarket value now is very high. Yeah, the value went up. Not too surprised by that. This is action figure, and then next up, Blue Archive Marie Idol version. This is a scale figure. This one looks okay, not too interested. And then here we have Yuka from Blue Archive Pajamas version. Too plain. Yeah. I love detailed stuff. If I want a figure of Yuka, I would get the existing one that was on pre-order for the past few months. Pre-order closed by now, I know, but not yet released, I think. Or is she already out? That Yuka figure where her 100 kilogram thighs left behind a huge dent on the chair she's sitting on. Yeah, that version by Good Smile, I would get that one. Up next, we have Girls Band Cry Iseri Nina. Man, Girls Band Cry is getting a lot of figures lately. I think Kotobukiya has a set of figures from this line over here, this anime adaptation. Paintwork is outstanding, as you can see, right? Every individual group of hair over here can see all the heavy shading. I love that. Up next, we have, okay, this is the Pardoll series, I think. Yeah, Harmonia series. Oh, no, not Pardoll. Harmonia series, Kagamine, Wind and Land. And then here we have Hatsune Miku Akizuki Kanmiya version. Must be the name of the illustrator, right? Right, no comment. There are too many Miku figures over here. Yeah, this is a very Chinese version. And then here we have Honkai Star Rail Firefly. Finally, she has been painted. And note this specific angle over here, she looks amazing. But what this figure is lacking is a 1/7 scale Sam behind her. I really wish that Good Smile would do the same exact thing the third parties were doing. Imagination Studio, for example, they have a Firefly in this very similar pose over here, and then they have a huge Sam bust figure behind her. Yes, that is going to be very expensive. Maybe the figure would end up being 40,000-50,000 yen, but give us that option maybe. A premium 50k version and a standard 22-23k version. That would be nice, give us choices. Yeah, we do have an action figure of Sam, right, coming soon. Already on pre-order, I believe, but that is too small. I want a huge one next to her or behind her. Looking good so far. Will I get one? High chances are yes. Maybe I'll get one. Up next, we have Needy Girl Overdose Candy. So if this is the one we're getting, this illustration over here, I would prefer the one by Apex Toys that just went on pre-order this past week, right? I covered it in my figure news. I think the selfie pose and the TVs on the base, that looks amazing. Yeah. Up to this point, I have never thought that one day I would end up wanting a Needy Girl Overdose figure, but here we are. Yeah. Up next, okay, we have a Nendoroid folder over here. We'll get to this later on. We continue with the scale figures first. Okay, Nikke Cinderella Beautiful Me version. There are way too many Cinderella figures already within this past 6 months or 1 year. And I am going to be very selective. I pre-ordered the 1/4 by Hobby Sakura. And as for a more normal 1/7 scale, I have my eyes set on the Max Factory one, 30,000 yen. But I ended up not pre-ordering that one because I am betting on her bargain binning slightly. If I can get her for 22,000-23,000 yen, basically 20% off, I will buy it. So the reason for that is because of what happened to my volume by Max Factory. My volume Nikke figure, it was 30,000 yen. And by today, you can find one for 22,000 yen in Ami sale section. Right? And I understand because Given the current geopolitical situation, the tariffs and so on, people are less willing to buy, or they are cancelling pre-orders, or they are pre-ordering less. And there is also the economy situation. We are actually in an economic recession. Yes. Just that your government won't tell you, the economists that are working for your government and for your bank, they won't tell you that we are in a recession, because saying so publicly will make things worse, right? By driving negative sentiments. It makes people less willing to spend money. So they won't say that until the entire recession is over. We are already in a recession. You can see that in the interest rates that banks are asking for nowadays, right? The OPR rates, for example. Yeah, everything has nosedived. And then you can go around and ask anyone, do you have any friends that has been furloughed recently or fired from their jobs? No. They lost their jobs because their companies are cutting staff. They couldn't afford it anymore because sales are dropping anywhere. I work in the healthcare industry, you see. And then regardless of where I look, dental clinics, medical clinics, pharmacies, I'm seeing a drop in sales everywhere, a drop in patients, a drop in customers, 30% or more. So we are already in a recession. People are unwilling to spend money. So I would be more careful with pre-ordering figures. I'm still pre-ordering, just that I'm pre-ordering less. Yeah. Now getting back to this figure over here after a small detour. Will I get this Cinderella figure? The answer is no. This is too plain, too simple, just a plain dress, right? At most, I would own 2 or 3 Cinderella figures and that is it. I don't need so many of them. Next one here, another Cinderella as you can see. But this is Glass Princess version and this one looks a lot better. This is beautiful. I won't deny that. Man, stop tempting me already. I mean the base and everything. The metallic silver chrome, it is so attractive. This is unique in a way in her outfit design. Okay, next one here we have Dorothy again. Doro from Nikke. So with Doro, I have only pre-ordered a 1x7 by Hobby Sakura again. As for everything else, the one by Max Factory and now this one by Good Smile Company, I'm still indecisive. Yeah, maybe not too late to buy one after release, I suppose. Up next, finally, Elec. So I saw, what was your name again? I'm sorry, I don't remember your name, but I do remember your comments. If you're watching this, you were complaining in one of my Figure News Fix videos that after this past year of Nikke figures, so many being announced, where is my Elec? I am angry, I'm mad that there are no Elec figures. Your complaints has been heard, my friend. We finally got an Elec figure. Not just one, not just two. There are 3 new Elec figures in this one fest. This is just the first one. Yes. So I'm looking forward to this one, but I'm a bit indecisive on which one to go for because every single one of them are 1x7, I think. This version over here, I kind of like it because there is some science fiction elements with the object on her right thigh over there, and that huge object behind her is that her cannon. Yeah, so when I see girls with big guns, I love it. So this one, maybe I'll get it. Up next, we have, Guren or Scarlet Black Shadow from Nikke. This one is looking good. Now, this is tough. I do like this one just because she reminds me of Scarhawk or Scardy from FGO, right? The same purple bodysuit, tight bodysuit, reminds me of that, and she comes with a nice sword, so I kind of like it. If this thing is in the low 20,000s, 22, 23k Japanese yen, then I will be very tempted, even though Alter and other brands are making figures of her as well. To me, in fact, Scarlet is the Scarhawk of... She's the Scarhawk of Nikke. Right, moving on to the next one. Nikke Helm After Shower. Okay. I love that she's getting this entire bathtub thing as the base. It all depends on the price. Max Factory also has a figure of Helm in a silver dress. Not sure which one I will get. I will buy one figure of hers, but I just couldn't decide which one to get yet. Too many choices is also a problem. Moving up next, we have a hyper body action figure Dorothy. So With this action figure, I'm not sure if I like the face, because at least from this angle over here, her face looks a bit weird, but it could be the angle, right? So, too early to judge anyway, and I don't collect action figures. Up next, Hyperbody Rapi Red Hood. I'm waiting for the Hobby Sakura 1-4. I really want that one. And here we have Maiden from Nikke. Okay. When I saw the colors on this, I was already screaming, want, right? But I have to think very carefully before I pre-order. Yes, I want this figure, I want it as well. Like this past year, every figure event has been really bad for my wallet, because I fell into the wrong hole, which is the Nikke hole. Very expensive over here. Yeah, black and red always go well together. Price prediction? Yeah, 22,000 yen as well. 22727, that is my guess. Yeah, my guess. Right, up next, oh, Red Hood, already painted, and oh my god. You know, I'm still indecisive on the 1x4 scale by Hobby Sakura. I did not pre-order that one, but I might buy it when she is in stock, but she's coming out very soon. Man, I can't afford to buy so much every month, so this is rough, man. This one, I want it. This one, I want it. Same thing. Price prediction is also low 20,000 yens. I don't think this will be too expensive. The shading on her hair, right? Look at her bright hair, and then there is a darker shade along the center and on her dress as well. Oh, I love seeing that in anime figures. Up next, Shiro, No Game No Life. Yes, the anime where they refused to make a season 2 but Rental Girlfriend got a season 5. I keep repeating this joke to rub salt in the wounds of fans of No Game No Life. Looking great so far, but Fat Company has a bunch of excellent Shiro figures as well, and they are not too rare. You should check out those as well. And up next, we have Persona 5 and Persona 3 protagonists, right? As I said, yeah, this figure was unpainted a few months ago in One Fest. Finally painted, and not the kind of thing I would buy. Up next, Ana Yanami again. She's winning big in the world of anime figures. Everyone wants to make a scale figure of her. This one is quite nice, but I still prefer the one by Alter where she is stuffing her face with cake. This one, I mean, hot body in bikini, why not, right? It all depends on the price. If she is low budget, like 16,000 yen, then I can see this one selling very well. Yeah. And that is all for Good Smile Company scale figures. Now we go to the Nendoroid folder and go through things very quickly. I normally do not cover Nendoroids. Normally, right? Okay, here we go. So the first one right here, we have Angel Souza reboot, Amane Tanikaze. Sozo Tenshi reboot, right? And then this is Nagisa, Kiwi Fuji Nagisa from Blue Archive, already painted. Bang Dream Misumi Uika. Which character in Bang Dream do you wish to bang the most? Let me know in the comments below. As long you know something about the characters, I know nothing, so I can't even choose. Bang Dream, Rana Kaname. And then here we have Riki Shina from Bang Dream as well. A lot of figures from this franchise. Soyo Nagasaki from Bang Dream. And Togawa Sakiko from Bang Dream. I love my Twin Tails. I'm leaning towards this one a bit. Maybe, I don't know. Here we have Fluffy Land August. Wait, August is already on pre-order, right? Oh, no. I saw a different August on pre-order this past week. And then here we have the Tomb of the Thief, Kayo Uomi, and Black Glasses. So, are these going to be sold as a pair, as a set, in a single box? That would be pretty interesting. And this is Alicia from Honkai Star Rail. This is going to sell like hotcakes. Also, Hyacinth from Honkai Star Rail. Next one here, Junji Ito Tomie. Now, this is a very unique Nendoroid that I think Nendo collectors should go for, just because it is so different from every other Nendos out there. Here we have Katekyo Hitman Reborn Takeshi Yamamoto. Yeah, there is a new anime adaptation, right? Or was it a remaster? I'm not sure. There's a new series on this classic anime. Here we have Nikke Alice, followed by Nikke Blanc, Nikke Everywhere, Yep, Cinderella. The Nendo looks really good though. And then here, Nikke Guren or Scarlet, followed by Nikke Noir. Yeah, the most popular 4 or 5 characters, they are getting so many figures, right? Reverse 1999 Medicine Pocket. And then followed by, yeah, super cute Angel Outing version from Needy Girl Overdose. And this is the best among all of the Nendoroids. Toho Project Nendoroid more, take it easy. Yeah. I don't even collect Nendos anymore, but I kind of want this pair of Toho figures, can I even call them figures, just for laughs, right? They are like meme stuff to me. And this is not exactly a Nendo, this is more like chibi figures. Yeah, Spice and Wolf. And I have no idea what these things are. They are not Nendoroids. Yeah, these things over here. So that is all for the Nendoroid section, not too many either. Now we go back to the list of manufacturers. What is the next brand? Okay, the next brand is Hanabee. So this is a Chinese figure brand. They started off making low budget scale figures, but now they are slowly venturing into premium scale figures. They have a few on the way that cost roughly 20,000 yen, right? They have a really good looking Baltimore figure from Arzalane that is currently on pre-order as well. So this is from an anime that just finished airing. I haven't started watching yet, but it was pretty promising. I previewed episode 1 a bit. 9 Ruler Crown. Kosaka Haruka, just announcement so far. They are making every character. 9 Ruler's Crown, Kujo, Miyako. And then we have Nimi Sora. I hope that I got their names right because I translated them from Japanese kanji. Sometimes they can be wrong as well. And then this is Yuki Noa. Oh, this one looks pretty badass. And here we have Arzalane Bach playing tennis. Interesting. This Masugaki keeps getting new figures and I'm all for it. Even though I don't have a single figure of her yet. I still like the one by Anigame, but the deluxe version is a bit hard to find nowadays. Meanwhile, the standard version is bargain binning everywhere. Yeah, the one by Anigame. Up next, we have 02 from Darling in the France. So which is my favorite 02 figure, not including the Hadaka one by Max Factory. Of course, that has to be everyone's favorite, right? Perhaps the one by Aniplex, I think. That one is pretty rare. Yeah, the Aniplex one is good. The Good Smile one is not bad actually. And there is one by Proof as well. The one in red uniform, fantastic. And now we get another option over here. I hope that the price is not too high because the detail level on this figure is not exactly high. It looks like school uniform to me. And you know, I mean, look at the folds on her uniform, right? On the skirt, not too much over there. So the detail level is kind of low. I hope that this is not too expensive. Who knows? It might be a low budget figure, right? Next one here, Nikke Senti. Yeah, this was announced in the previous event. No changes so far. Nikke Shuen. Okay, I'm looking forward to this one because I love my lollies. And there are not many lolly characters in Nikke after all. So this one has my attention. Original character by Ogipote, we have Panda Nikuman-chan. Alright, original characters. And then we have Wuthering Waves Yinlin. Finally. It was just a week ago that I covered a third-party figure of her. Now we have a licensed, genuine figure that looks really good. Interesting. Based on this artwork right here. I don't think it is possible for this to cost 20,000 yen, isn't it? Is it possible for something this intricate to cost 20k? If this is 25k, I wouldn't be surprised, but maybe Chinese brands, they have a way of getting the price as low as possible. This is the last figure from Hanabee. Now we move on to the next brand. Man, I really hate the user interface on MacBooks, on Mac OS, but I love Mac. When it comes to editing photos and videos, that is why I have one over here. I still prefer Windows given the choice, man. Okay, up next, we have Hatsu Weklin, a branch of Cosmos Sora. One single figure over here. Original character by Pyonketi, I think. P-Y-O-N-K-T-I. Water Ripples, Dragon Shadow Yinglong. Yep. On the top left corner, I'm not sure you can see it on screen, Cosmos Sora, there you go. A branch of Cosmos Sora. Original character, interesting. And this past week, we just had a new Nikke figure by this brand going on pre-order, right? Looks pretty good at 1/6 scale. Next figure brand is Hobbilic. Yeah, a very new brand. I don't know much yet, and yes, it is Chinese. This is original character Arashi. We don't even have the name of the artist or the illustrator, so this is probably an in-house original character. And only an image over here, nothing else. Very small and new figure brand from China. Okay, the next brand over here is Hobby Chaton. A very new brand as well. They have a few new figures on pre-order currently, but nothing has been released by this brand yet, I believe. So the first one here, original character by Aiko, Nia made version. And this is the illustration. We have a prototype right here. The face is looking really good already. This is the one thing with Chinese brands, no matter how cheap or how low budget their figures are, they still get the faces right. I really appreciate that at least. Next one here, original character Anna. This is more of my kind of thing. And the prototype looking good as well. I think the face looks the same, just that different angle, right? And the third one here, FuRyu, original character. And here we have the prototype. Yeah, different angle, right? This is... This figure is taken from a lower angle, but it still looks good. Very promising, coming from Hobby Chaton. Now, moving on to the next brand, I believe it should be Hobby... Oh no, I thought it was Hobby Sakura. It is actually Hobbimax Boring. One single figure, Ikari Shinji from Radio Eva series, right? The fashion series. These things, they often bargain bin. They go on pre-order for roughly 20,000 yen, and then you get a colored version and an almost black and white version. And then 3 months to 6 months after release, you can have them for 40% off. So, I'm sorry Hobbimax, but I simply can't recommend people pre-ordering figures from your brand, man, when things bin like that so easily. Next brand over here is not Hobby Sakura yet. It is... Wait, did I rename my folders wrongly? The next brand is Honey. Yeah, Honey Square is pronounced as Honey. So we have Echocalypse Demonica. From Echocalypse, there are already a couple of figures out there from this game. Yeah, big male with big opie, not my kind of thing, but those figures are exceptionally detailed, and this one is not too different. Based on this artwork over here, they are making the entire throne, in fact. Interesting. And up next, we have High School DxD. A lot of you are going to be so happy. Rias and Akeno Reverse Bunny version. Reverse Bunny could be 18 plus, could be. Because this brand, Honey, they seem to be an 18 plus edgy figure brand. And the reason why I'm saying so is because they are making figures from Nokitashi. Nokitashi, the animation. I implore you to go and watch that anime now. If you haven't watched it yet, finished airing already, I think 11 episodes. Is it 11 or 12 episodes? Go and watch it. And make sure that you are not connected to the Bluetooth speaker downstairs. Yeah, and lock your door. Fantastic anime. It was hilarious. It is one of the most cultured anime this past year. Go and watch it, right? So this is Onabuta Ikuko from Nokitashi. Onabuta, female pig. And Resin Touka from Nokitashi as well. And finally, Tadasugawa Rei from Nokitashi as well. And the bad news is that these 3 figures will be 1x12 action figures, not scale figures. Yep. Look at the file name 12AF. I typed that in just to make sure I don't get confused. These 3 are action figures, unfortunately. Yeah. As for how much have I watched this anime, I'm only 2 episodes in, but I do fully intend to finish it because this is so entertaining for a very good reason. I think I might have named Hobby Sakura as HSK in my folder over here, so it is still in the queue, right? Next brand, Howling Star, which is a very new brand as well from China. Yes, I just remembered now. Howling Star is the brand behind that Chalco Soma CC figure that I was talking about earlier from another brand. It was a Howling Star figure. Yeah, it looked amazing. I saw the figure sitting inside the box in a local figure store. So having seen the figure in person, even though the figure was in the box, it was a clear box, right? Like outer style plastic box. I got to see the figure clearly. I can already say that this brand makes good figures. So this one over here, Diablos Core Marie Rouge, is going to be, yeah, it is going to be good stuff for sure. Only one single figure from this brand. Moving on to the next brand, finally, Hobby Sakura, right? So the first figure right here, this is from Brown Dust 2. And she is looking fantastic already, even though she isn't painted yet. More Pia from Brown Dust 2, Bunny Suit. I keep saying there are too many bunny girls when it comes to anime figures, and then I keep getting attracted to them, I keep buying them. Yeah. It is people like me who complain and still buy them. That is why figure brands keep making them, right? I am part of the problem. I realize that. This is the rear view. Very interesting character design over there. I love it. And then here we have Nikke stuff finally. These are chibi figures from Nikke. These are things that I would love to have on display, on the shelf, in my workplace, for example. They are adorable and they are perfectly safe for work, you know? Yeah. Closer up look over here. Yep, I won't buy them, but you know what? I still like them to some extent. I just need to prioritize my budget on scale figures, which is something that I can never finish buying. Up next, okay, 1x10 scale Nikke figures of Alice over here. It looks really good for sure. And then I just asked this question on Sunday's Figure News Fix. Did Hobby Sakura make a mistake, right, with their strategy on 1x10 scale for their budget line? I'm not sure if it is a good idea. Yeah, I discussed that in detail in Figure News Fix, so I won't repeat it again over here. The figure does look really good. Too good for 1x10 scale, in fact. Here we have Cinderella 1x10 scale, and this one is indeed a bit underwhelming, I have to say. Will the figure lean? If there is a concern, I would say no, because the figure is probably so lightweight that the weight of the figure is not even a factor when the figure is standing on one single leg like that. Next one here, okay, the rear view, of course. I like this picture so much that I saved 2 copies. Here we have a 1x10 scale Dorothy from Nikke. Of course, I won't get it. I want something bigger and more premium because bigger is nicer. Here we have the rear view once again. Maybe it is too early to tell. It feels like there is something different about the face of this Dorothy figure, but it is still unpainted after all. Too early to judge. Up next, Elec. There we go. So we have a second Elec figure over here by Hobby Sakura. And since I am already collecting Hobby Sakura Nikke figures, right? I intend to get their Little Mermaid, the 36,000 yen one, but I haven't pre-ordered it yet. I already pre-ordered their Dorothy. So I think it would be natural for me to continue the set over here. And this version of Elec also comes with a huge cannon behind her. So between this and the Good Smile version earlier, which one should I get? Tough choice because they are the same exact version. The Good Smile version earlier, the same exact one. How do I even choose? How do I even choose this? I hope this is 1x7 and not 1x4. If it is 1x4, I'm so dead. Yes. I haven't checked it. Oh yeah, it is a 1x7. It is in the file name. Nikke Elec 17. 1x7. Okay. Yes, I want it. Up next, okay, this is the back view. And the reason why I saved the back view of these figures over here is because I wanted to show you guys the detail level. Yeah, the cannon she's holding, whatever that thing is, it is supposedly a cannon, right? But to me, it looks more like a vacuum cleaner, if I have to be honest. I told one of my friends who is playing this game, he's from Hong Kong. I told him about the weird weapon design in this game, and he told me, you haven't seen nothing yet. Go and take a look at that Ram and Ram crossover with Nikke. I was like, yeah, I get it. They have a mace, a ball of spike near the handle of the weapon. How do you even hold that thing? I get it. Weird weapon designs, but for some reason they look great. They look unique, I suppose, and yes, I want them regardless. Alright, up next we have Grave, 1x7 scale from Nikke, finally painted. Yeah, this was previously unpainted in One Fest a few months ago. Hobby Sakura is working very fast, right? One Fest summer wasn't too long ago. It was in late July, early August, and now barely 2 months later, they have all of these figures painted already. Yeah. So Grave is a character where she's not high on my wants list because, I mean, the character design is just, not too special. But at the same time, you look at Grave wearing this tuxedo over here, and then you compare to any male figures, male characters by Good Smile or any other brand, they look terrible in comparison, but Hobby Sakura managed to make a character wearing a suit look good in a figure for some reason. I've always complained that those figures that wear a black suit, a black trousers, they lack detail, they lack shading, and Hobby Sakura just showed us how it is done over here. And I really appreciate that. Yeah, this looks really good. Moving up next, we have Leviathan 1x7 scale. Oh, this is going to cost over 30,000 yen for sure. It may be a Chinese brand, but this is, I would say, 35k. Yes, because you look at Little Mermaid, 34,000 yen. This has to be at least 35 if not higher. I am so screwed. I'm telling you guys right now, I'm so screwed. All of these characters, I like them. Up next, 1x4 scale Mast from Nikke. 1x4 scale, yeah, what is that name again? Hosho Marine, Nikke version. It is just so uncanny. Each time I see Mast, I'm reminded of Marine. Yeah. Already painted, and Patrick right there looks pretty good being stuck on the barrel. Yeah, Patrick from SpongeBob. They even bothered to shade that Patrick properly. A lot of heavy shading on the paintwork on this figure. Up next, okay, rear view of course. Nothing much to see over here. Up next, we have a 1x10 scale Privati from Nikke. I will be waiting for the 1x7 scale by Alter, but I think Hobby Sakura would eventually make a 1x7 of her as well, just a matter of time. Rear view, you look at the paintwork on her hair, right? It is quite an unusual amount of detail for a 1x10 scale figure. And finally, regardless of my prediction, my doom and gloom prediction of more bargain bins coming later this year and also next year because of the economic situation, I am going to smash the pre-order button on this Rapi. I just don't care. This one over here is hands down my favorite figure in this One Fest. She was my favorite in One Fest summer 2 months ago. She is still my favorite in this One Fest Shanghai. Yes. Fabulous work from Hobby Sakura. Man, this is fast becoming my favorite figure brand of the year. I would even go as far to say that I can't say I like the effect part behind the rifle over there or the cannon over there, but I'll take it. Yeah. Heavy shading on the hair, on the weapon, and everywhere. As for price guess, yeah, at least 40,000 yen if not more. 40 to 45k is my prediction. And okay, this is the actual display in the event. Looking pretty fabulous, of course. And up next, we have a 1x7 scale Rapi from Nikke. Now, this one is a bit plain and simple, so I'm not sure yet, right? But who knows? Really, who knows? Just because I don't pre-order something, it does not mean I won't buy it after release. Rear view, of course. That nice rear. I need to show it to you guys, right? And here we have a 1x10 scale groupie. So Freeing made a 1x4 scale of this thing. I really wish that I had the budget for it, but there are too many things to buy. And Hobby Sakura, how about giving us the same exact figure over here in 1x7? I would appreciate it. They already have a rupee figure out, right? A few months already. The one wearing a white shirt with a handbag and so on. I'm not sure yet if I will get that one. It really depends. Up next, we have Scarlet 1x10 scale. This looks way too good for 1x10 scale. I have to admit that. And I almost want this Scarlet figure and only this one. Just to photograph it in a diorama. Because 1x10 scale is a lot easier to make a diorama instead of 1x7. a lot cheaper. I think the cost is the main concern over here. But amongst the 1x10 scale figures, if there is one that I want, this is the one because of the pose. I think I saved at least 3 pictures. Like, this thing is so exceptionally detailed for 1x10 scale. Look at that, man. You need to remember you're looking at a 1x10 scale. If this is really 7,500 yen, man. Right, up next, another Scarlet figure. Oh, this is a 1x10 scale. Also Scarlet, but 1x10 scale. I think the same one that we saw in the Good Smile Company section earlier, the Good Smile version was the 1x7, right? Man, this is confusing. And this is the back view, of course. Okay, and then here we have a 1x10 scale Rapi Red Hood. I don't need her anymore. I will concentrate my funds on the 1x4 scale. Here we have Rosuuri channel, Rosuuri. So when I see the word channel over there, I'm going to assume it is a VTuber. Looking good so far. And my guess for the price, right? This is almost ready for pre-order from the looks of it. Yeah. 20 and 22,000 yen. 20 for the base one. 22k for one with a wall scroll, maybe. And here we have Stellar Blade. Chibi figures. Hey, why not give us proper scale figures of Stellar Blade? Hobby Sakura, you guys already have a good relationship with Shift Up Corporation. Give us Stellar Blade scale figures as well. And that is all for Hobby Sakura. Probably the best figure brand for me, at least in this event. Up next is Kaiyodo, right? So Kaiyodo, they have a few scale figures, but they are known for their Revoltech action figures. This is their scale figure, Dead or Alive 6, Mary Rose and Honoka. A very realistic face. I almost feel like I'm looking at a third-party resin figure. Here we have Mikus. Kaiyodo love their Mikus for some reason. This is Hatsune Miku 2024 anniversary version. I don't like the color scheme, to be honest. And here another Miku, art by Art Dan. Very Chinese. Doesn't look cheap. Maybe at least 30,000 yen, I think. And then here we have Hatsune Miku, art by Swan Lily. Yeah, based on the Chinese folklore, the Chinese dragon or something, right? And another Miku as well, Little Bird version, art by Bison. Yeah. Okay, now we take a quick look at Revoltech. Normally, I don't cover these things, but might as well go through them. So this is Artpla. I have no idea what is Artpla. Are they like low-budget figures of some kind where you paint them yourself? I have no clue at all, right? So Artpla Eva number 0001 and 02. And then we have Artpla Sculpture Works Eva 13. Unit 13. Evangelion stuff. Looks like a figure to me though. And then here we have Blue Archive Kasumizawa Miyo. Yes, it is Revoltech action figure. All of these are Revoltech. Kazekura Moe from Blue Archive. I just hate those joints, man. They are so ugly. Yeah. But some people love them. They love the posability of the figure. Sorai Saki from Blue Archive. What is up with her face or her eyes? Yeah, I think they need to fix it. But this is still a prototype over here. Doesn't look that good in my opinion. Here we have Tsukioki Miyako from Blue Archive. A very rough prototype. You can even see the figure is kind of rough on the surface. Very early sample. From Dandadan GG transformed version. And here we have Okarun from Dandadan, also the transformed version. I tried 3 times to watch the anime and I did not like it at all. In fact, I don't understand why it is so popular because I hated it. Don't like the character art, I suppose. And here we have Getter Robo Armageddon Black Getter. And also here Getter 1 OVA version. This is like 1960s or 1970s mecha anime, I think. Yeah, classic. Legend of Heroes Estelle Bright, Revoltech action figure, 1x12 scale. And here, yep, very recognizable, Metal Gear Solid. I don't really play the game though. Hadaka Snake. And what else? Yep, Ocelot from Metal Gear Solid. And followed by the boss from Metal Gear Solid as well. Even though they are military designs, I still hate the joint lines over there. And yeah, this would be Ninja Gaiden Ryu Hayabusa. Ninja Gaiden. Sounds familiar. I have no idea what it is as well. Maybe it is a game. Ninja Gaiden Ryu Hayabusa again. Different pose and... yeah, One Punch Man Boros. One Punch Man Season 3 is airing this month, right? Is it this week? The first episode. And here we have One Punch Man Half-Puff Prisoner Revoltech as well. One Punch Man Silver Fang Revoltech. And here we have Titans. So many Titans. Man, that thing in the center is huge. And here we have YS1 and 2 Adol Christine. No idea who it is. Looks like a typical protagonist in a MMORPG game. Yeah, a fantasy one. So that is all for Kaiyodo. The next figure brand would be KAWA Design, Chinese figure brand. We have 6 figures over here, 5 or 6 of them. The first one is Drake from Nikke. Yes, this is Drake. I almost couldn't tell. There are too many figures. I have to be selective with what I buy. This one, I'm not too interested yet so far. Up next, we have Ke Lu Li and Pao Fu Jiang. Original characters. No artist name, so this is an in-house character design by KAWA Design itself. Something that they do very often. I can't even see the face over here, so no comments. Next up, we have original character from Ohisashiburi, Haifu. Bunny girls again. Looking very detailed though. I'm looking forward to see how this one turns out painted. Same thing for this one. Original character Ohisashiburi, Natalia. Yup, KAWA Design so far, low budget scale figures, roughly 9,000, 10,000 yen. And they look pretty good based on user pictures. One day I will buy their stuff for sure. Alright, so what is the next brand over here? Kiwi Toys, also Chinese brand again, original characters. So this is original art by Anteiru Minoru Harumi. Yep. And this would be the figure. I only have a close-up view of her. Up next, we have original character by Kanangam, China Dress Musume. No, China Dress Nyan. Just because of the pose? No, that she doesn't have any cat ears. Why China Dress Nyan? And here we have a painted sample which looks really good. Right. I would say this will cost maybe 10,000 yen. Yep, 9 to 10,000 yen. Yeah, at 1/6 scale. And here, original character by Chao Bie. Akai Yari, no mate. Alright. Action pose. Interesting. And a figure like this wouldn't cost 10,000 yen. It would be more than that. This is more complex. Up next, original character by Saro, Snow Evor. Pretty girl with swords, right? Who doesn't love them? And here we have original character Shubi. This one is already pre-order open for weeks by now. So if you like her, don't wait for too long before pre-order closes. I think the price was pretty low on this one. And here we have original character by Trent, Kashoku Succubus-chan. This is too lolly to me, like too much already. But still very attractive, like very cute, right? It is very different from many other figures. And the prototype looks pretty good, but I'm not sure if her eyes are a bit too close to one another. Yeah, I think it looks a bit too close. This one, right, pay attention to her eyes over here and then to this one. I think they need to readjust the eyes a bit. There are still chances for this figure to look better because this is still an early prototype. So that is all for Kiwi Toys. Up next, we have Koi Koi. I have reviewed one figure from them. So this brand, low budget as well. 8,000-9,000 yen and original characters throughout the way. Original character by Kandoku, Behind the Shrine in the Afternoon. She doesn't have a name. I only have close-up pictures, unfortunately. This is original character by Kase Daiki. My sister is forced to cosplay something for her friends. Yeah. This is a bit much. Like, I'm not sure if I can get away with reviewing something like this on YouTube. Do I want it? Of course, yes. If the price is cheap, why not? Next up, I like this a lot more. So this is original character by Kekematsu Tama-chan, the swimming club. This one I like, right? Reminds me of my Reverse Studio Bunny Girl a bit. The pose is similar. And here we have original character by Saitom Nora. This one is a bit meh. And then the sweater she has on reminds me of Taito prize figures. Yeah, Taito Corful. Looks very similar over there. Color injected sweater with texture on it. And the last figure is original character by SG Shion Elfin. So that is all for Koi. And I believe all of them are cheap figures. Up next, we have a new brand called LADo Toys. LADo. LADo Toys, and this is all we have over here. We have new Ayanami Rei, Asuka, and what's the name again? Makinami something. Illustrious Mari, is it? Anyways, the 3 Eva characters, and we have Asuna and Kirito from SAO. And the post is so boring that I'm not sure if I am looking at action figures or skill figures. Okay, they are action figures. That explains the very bland post over there. Because if the 3 grey prototypes are actually skill figures, I would tell you guys to skip it straight away. But action figures, fine. Too early to say anything over here. Moving on to the next brand, we are looking at Magi Arts, a premium Chinese figure brand. Yep, premium brand. Their stuff are not cheap, sometimes over 30k. So the first one here is from Akuma no Riddle. This is something we saw in One Fest already, no update so far. And I'm surprised that this anime adaptation, at least, I loved the anime adaptation from many years ago. Akuma no Riddle. This is Haru Ichinose and Toki something Azuma. Can't remember her name. So there are a few pictures over here from different angles. No, this is not Yuri. As you can see, she has a knife next to her neck. Because if I remembered correctly, these students were made to fight each other to the death in some competitive games similar to Danganronpa. Yes. So this is not Yuri. Up next, oh, I love this so much. 1x6 scale, Bunny Suit Planning, Sophia F. Shering. And wait, is this 1x6 scale? I think it is. Yes, you're getting multiple face parts as you can see over there. And this has to be at least 30,000 yen if not more. Just that, you know, the shape of her oppai is so unrealistic. It is like cannons or missiles ready to fire. Because oppais are heavy, they have some weight, they are supposed to be sagging downwards. But this thing is pointing upwards like that. It is ready to fire some missiles. I know, don't question anime logic or don't question the artist behind this character, Saitama, right? No, Nadare, my bad. I think this is Nadare art, going by the face, very familiar. Yeah. The oppai shape is so weird. Alright, up next we have Cutie Honey Nova, Cutie Honey. Okay, this is a classic, Cutie Honey. Interesting. And this is a 1x6 scale, by the way. Magi Arts is making 1x6 scale, which is refreshing. Everyone are doing 1x7. This is Hayore Nyaruko-san, 1x6 scale. I'm so happy to see her. More like this is so nostalgic. The anime ad so long ago. It was like year 17, year 18. I could be wrong, but it was many years ago. It was really entertaining. And if you ask me, should I watch it? It is a big yes. Go and watch it. There are a lot of Kamen Rider and other references, right? It is more like a parody anime, so you should go for it. It is hilarious. I do have a Nyaruko figure. I got one for like 5,000 yen pre-owned. Yes, by Max Factory, the Hadaka apron version. But unfortunately, that Nyaruko figure of mine, there is some mold problem on her legs. Yeah. Does not feel that painful to me because I paid only 5,000 yen for her. Up next, we have the King of Fighters Mai Shiranui, just an announcement, 1x6 scale, and oh, I believe I saw someone uploading the prototype picture of this figure. There is a grey prototype. I don't have the picture. You can find it in MFC, hopefully. Okay, up next, we have Saya no Ota 1x6 scale. This is the figure I was talking about on Sunday's Figure News Fix, right? When Alice 21 Studio put their version of 1x6 scale on pre-order for roughly $233 US. And I said that there would be stiff competition from Magi Arts. And I was referring to this figure over here. Yeah, this is a 1/6. And I can see this one selling really well. I'm not exactly a fan of this character or anything, but this is probably the best scale figure of this character yet so far. And you can get her at a bigger scale than usual. So you should keep an eye on this one. Up next, okay, rear view picture. When you see me save multiple pictures of the same figure, it means that I want you guys to see the details on this figure from various different angles. I think it looks outstanding. And next up, we have Steins Gate Mayuri Shina. Presumably what you're getting in this picture. Yeah. She does need more figures. We only get Makise Kurisu all the time, so more figures of her is welcome. Up next, 1x6 scale Toho Project figures. All of these, yeah, the one you're seeing on screen, all of them are getting 1x6 scale figures, so Alter has some serious competition over here. Hobby Sakura as well, right? No, not Hobby Sakura, Solar Rain. I believe the few figures over here, like the one in the center, what's her name again? Yeah, the one in the center in red. There is a 1x7 scale figure of her by Solar Rain. The same exact pose. I think MAG Arts is going for the same exact thing but in 1x6 scale and perhaps more expensive. Up next we have White Album 2. This is pretty refreshing. I watched the anime long ago. This is an old anime. Like there is a 10-year gap I think between season 1 and season 2. Several years of gap. Yeah. So White Album 2 Kazusa Toma. And okay, a different angle. It is so random to see a White Album 2 character getting made into a figure in year 2025. It feels so random. And here we have Yukina Ogiso from White Album 2. Yeah, basically the two main heroines in White Album 2. I don't even remember anything anymore from the anime. It is a romance anime, right? Should be pre-order opening in the coming weeks, right? These are almost completed figures, well painted, shaded and everything. And that is all for MAG Arts. Moving up to the next brand, we have Max Factory. Right, so not too many stuff over here. The first one is Sakurako from Blue Archive. She is now finally painted. She was in grey prototype in One Fest more than a month ago. The colors are a bit too bland, so I don't see myself picking up this one. And here we have a Doro figure. She is a money printer, right? This thing is a meme after all. Now everyone wants to make a figure of this Doro. Max Factory included, and this is apparently a coin box, as you can see over there. Interesting. Next one, we have Helm from Nikke. This looks really good. I mean, the shading, right, on her blue hair, and even on the dress, it almost feels like looking at real cloth. And this is why I regard Max Factory to be among the best in the figure industry. Even though I think they can do way better. They should go ahead and make more complex figures that cost more every once in a while, I think. They are a bit too slow in making stuff. Here we have Snowbreak Containment Zone, Forbidden Area, Advanced Itchel. Nice. I almost mistook her for another Azalin character because not yet painted, right? Yeah, that pink hair Azalin character. Is it, what's her name again? Pink hair, twin tails. I'm so bad at remembering names. Yeah, sometimes I don't even remember the names of my colleagues at work. Those of a different department. And that is all for the scale figure section of Max Factory. Now we move on to the Figma folder. Not too many stuff over here, so we just go through them very quickly. The first one is Figma Blue Archive Takanashi Hoshino. Finally fully painted. In the previous event, she was still in grey prototype. And yeah, she is always sleepy. I wonder if we will get the Riot Shield in the set. I think not. Not for this school uniform version. And the next one we have Sophia F. Shering again. Be it action figure or scale figures, I've lost count how many of them in this one single One Fest alone. But I suppose that she is a very attractive character. Maybe one day I will buy a figure or two of this character over here. This is the swimsuit version. Up next, we have Bunny Suit Planning Veronica Sweetheart. I do think she deserves more figures. In the recent 1 week, back on Sunday, we have a scale figure of her, a different color version by MAG Arts going on pre-order, and quickly pre-order sold out in Ami, right? So I think she deserves more figure. All we are getting right now is Sophia F. sharing. What about Veronica? This is the swimsuit version. Up next, we have HK416, right? Yeah, I think it is HK416 Kurukai version from Girls Frontline 2. Followed by Tororo from Girls Frontline as well. I think there are a few new characters with different names that I'm not very familiar with in the sequel of Girls Frontline. This name Tororo, I certainly have never seen it before. Action figures like this, when you have mecha or military stuff, they tend to look fine, but too early to tell. This one, she's wearing stockings, I think. Yeah, high level stockings, so the knee joints are still not very nice. Up next, we have Shinjo Akane New Order from Gridman Universe. The recent scale figure by Good Smile. Yeah, the one on pre-order this past week is amazing. Next one, we have Privati from Nikke. Also Figma. I always feel like Nikke is taking an existing popular character from different franchises and making their own version. Like how I loved calling masked Marine Hosho, right? From Hololive. And in the case of Privati, it feels like Nikke's version of Miku, if I have to be honest. That is what I feel, at least. Next one, we have Prisma Ilya Seville von Einsborn. And the last one, I think, is from Unicorn Overlord, Yarna. Gotta get the scale figures by Kotobukiya at least, or maybe get the one by Apex Toys. So that is all for Figma, not too many. Okay, so what is the next brand over here? Mimeyoi, one single figure. This is from Azalane Z23 or Z23 for those of you in the US. I'm so used to calling it Z over here because in Malaysia we use British English, right? So nothing too special over here. And is this a 1x4? I can't tell. Because, you know, they might be using a wide angle lens to take a picture of this figure, so that distorts the perspective. I can't tell if this is 1x4 or 1x7 from this picture alone. It looks big. It looks pretty big over here. But sometimes camera lenses can distort perspective. That's the problem. Next figure brand. A new brand called Mirai Mira. Yep, new brand. And just an announcement of 3 figures over here. No prototypes, nothing. Gakuen Idolmaster, Fujita Kotone, and a bunch of others. Okay, Tsukimura Temari and Hanami Saki. There we go. I can see the file name up here. So, nothing much. Which would be Muse Molds. Another new figure brand. Yeah, Muse Molds. So, they have 2 new figures over here. The first one is Zashiki Warashi-san by Ryosuke Fukai. Original character. 1x7 scale. I have 3 pictures over here actually. This one was released by the company, and then we have this artwork over here. Looks pretty nice. Reminds me of Akane Shinjo a bit. Like, same vibe. Same character vibe. And then here we even have a painted sample displayed in the event. So this is the thing I don't understand. The company would release an unpainted picture on the internet, on Twitter maybe. And then in the event, they will display the colored version. I wonder if that is intentional. Looking good though. And the second figure here, the next 2 figures are Uzaki, Hana, and her mom, basically. Cheerleader version. Interesting. Her mom looks way too young, right? Her mom has to be at least in her 40s, I think. Okay, so the next figure brand is also a new brand, very new, Novel Stella, right? Only 1 single figure from this brand, and it is also an original character by N9 Plus Fire Witch. So this past week, I missed out on 2 figures, I think 2 or 3 figures that were on pre-order. I did not cover them in my Figure News Fix on Sunday because they disappeared from the front page of Ami for some reason. Yeah, so when there are so many figures and they disappear from the front page, it is hard to keep track. And one of those figures are made by this brand Novel Stella. It is some pink hair succubus girl, lolly girl, right? So go and check that one out. You can find it in Ami if you search for the phrase Novel Stella. I forgot to cover that figure. Thanks to Ami. Meanwhile, this Fire Witch over here looks pretty nice, but for some reason, she reminds me of the anime Fire Force. I don't know why it reminds me of that. I think it is the uniform and the witch hat. I don't know. Very unique character design. Alright, so moving on to the next brand. Over here, we have Omaha. 2 figures only. The first one is original character by Fujiyama and her name is Chloe. She is stuck to a photo frame. I haven't seen many figure brands do this. Back then, 10 years ago, we had this Hatsune Miku World is Mine, right? Where the figure is stuck on a photo frame with a magnet. Yeah, not many figure brands do that nowadays. The next one here, no, this figure is not for sale. I just wanted to share with you guys. So this Saitama L figure, the normal one is 1/6 scale, I think. They were displaying a life-sized version in the event for some reason. I'm not sure if they will sell it. Who knows? By the end of the event, who knows? They might open an auction and the highest bidder will get to take the figure home. Usually that is what happens with this 1/1 scale, 1-off figures, right? They will conduct an auction and then the richest person gets to have the statue. Right, now back to this page over here. The next figure brand is Otaku Toys. Yup, Chinese brand. 1 single figure. Original character by Ye E.G. And the name is Posa. P-O-S-A. Posa. What the heck? And this is like very early stage. I couldn't tell what I'm looking at all. I think this looks like the Chinese hopping vampire. No, hopping zombie. Jiangshi, right? Going by the pose, I think it is. They have a Nikke figure that I am really looking forward to, but man, very expensive, 30,000 yen as well. Raphael, I think. Alright, next figure brand over here. Another new brand called Popo Free. P-O-P-O-F-R-E-E. What kind of name is that? If you look for the data in MFC, there's nothing known about this brand yet, including whether they are Japanese or Chinese. I'm more inclined to think they are Chinese. So this is original character by Illusion Poison, Mysterio. That's her name. And next one here, original character by Nero Paso, Ridia. Just Chinese dress. And here we have original character by Okakizuki, pretty famous. China Musume. Yeah, I confused it with the other figure earlier, right? That one was China Dress Nyan. This is China Musume. And here we have OC Okakizuki as well. Okay, the same character, but the grey prototype looking good as well. So that is all for Popo Free, a very new figure brand. Up next, we have Prime One Studio. Right, so a lot of the figures over here, they have already pre-order opened, so I won't go into detail again. I will speed through them as quickly as possible. We are almost at the 2-hour mark. Yeah, so this is under Prismawing. Prime One Studio and Prismawing, they are the same company. Prismawing is their premium PVC figure division. Here we have Regensburg from Arzalane, already on pre-order. I believe the price is 6 digits in Japanese yen. Here I have Atelier Ryza Resilient Stout, and one of the best looking Ryza figure I've seen. Comes at a high price though. Yeah, I mean the detail on her outfit is just next level compared to anything else out there. Here we have a life-sized Kurumi for some reason. Once again, maybe the highest bidder will get to bring her home. Yeah. Here we have, okay, Grand Blue Fantasy, Siegfried, under Prismawing. So far, everything has been under Prismawing, right? Next one here, Prismawing as well, Girls Frontline LTLX 7000. I really like what Prismawing is doing, just that I really hope that they get the quality control right. Here we have, okay, now we are entering Prime One Studio section. That is all for Prismawing. The first item here, this is from Prime One Studio, Berserk Corporate of Fate Behelit collection. So it is like a bunch of stuff, maybe the ones you see in the anime, and then they made it into an actual merchandise. Yeah, I don't collect this kind of things, but I know that there are people out there who love merchandise like this. Here we have Berserk Grunbelt. Prime One Studio is in love with Berserk for some reason. Berserk again, Guts Berserker Armor Rage. And wow, what are the things in front? So many parts. So many separate parts. I think they will all be glued together, right? Maybe they will. It is a resin statue after all. Here we have Berserk Guts Berserker Armor version. They love their Berserk figures. And here we have Guts versus Grunbelt from Berserk as well, a diorama set. Up next we have 3 Sentinel from Elden Ring. They are making all of the things that I don't buy, which I'm really glad because I don't want to be poisoned any further. And here we have Eva Unit 02 Evangelion, very detailed though. Eva mass production model version. And then here we have Eva Mark 6. Up next, we have Guilty Gear Strive Baiken. Now, this one looks fantastic, but I know the photograph is fairly blurry because it was originally quite low resolution, a small image, and I couldn't find a better quality one in time. Maybe a few days later, people will upload it in MFC, right? But this Baiken is my favorite one from Prem1 Studio, not including Prisma Wing. And here we have Guilty Gear Strive Ramletal Valentine. The green color thing over there is so distracting in my opinion. Yeah, way too bright, way too eye-catching. It is like stealing attention from the main figure itself. Guilty Gear Strive again, Soul Bad Guy. Name Bad Guy. To me, it feels like it looks messy. It looks very cluttered. Yeah, I'm not a fan of statues like this. And here, wow. Let me change my mind and say that this is my favorite figure by Prem1 Studio. Yes, I forgot about this pair over here. Kill La Kill, Kyuwin, Satsuki, and Matoi Ryuko fighting each other. Oh, this thing is fabulous. This looks so good. And if you are a big fan of Kill La Kill, I'm telling you guys right now to save up at least 200,000 yen, and that might not be enough because you still need to pay for shipping and taxes. Wow, you see, I saved so many pictures because I was very impressed by what I saw. This thing is fantastic. Whew. I'm not even a fan of Kill La Kill. I stopped watching the anime after a couple of episodes, not my kind of thing. Not a fan of the art style, the animation style, but I still appreciate a good figure like this. Yeah. And here I have Persona 5 protagonist Joker and Arsene. Okay, this thing over here, before I forget, already on pre-order, very expensive, 1/6 scale I believe. Yeah, not my kind of thing. And up next, we have Silent Hill 2. Yeah, the new game, right? The new game is spawning so many figures. James, Sunderland, and then we have Pyramid Head, and then we have the Bubble Head Nurse, and so on. This is very expensive from the looks of it. An entire set, multiple figures. What else do we have? Street Fighter 6 Akuma. Yes, this is the last one. So that is all for Prisma Wing and Prem1 Studio. Moving up next, it is actually Pop-Up Parade. Yes, I should have placed this folder together with the Good Smile folder earlier, but unlike what happened to OneFest summer coverage a couple of months back, this time around I did not forget. So there are only 3 of them over here, and this one looks really good. Pop-Up Parade L, Senjo Gahara Hitagi from Bakemonogatari. Yeah, looks really good. And I hope that it is actual painting and not just lighting. I see some shading in her hair as well, her clothes as well. So, very promising. 8,000 yen plus plus, you can have a very nice scale figure of her. Moving up next, we have Pop-Up Parade Raya from Elden Ring. This is Pop-Up Parade SP Special, and we have no idea what size this is. I think maybe in MFC database you can see the dimensions, because SP can be anything. It can be the normal size Pop-Up Parades but a bit more expensive, or it can be the L size but a bit more expensive. That's the problem. I think there is a naming problem with the Pop-Up Parade line for Good Smile Company. And the third one is Suzumiya Haruhi L size. Finally. Suzumiya Haruhi is like literally my first figure ever. Since day one, I became interested in anime figures in general. Granted, that was a bootleg. Yes, cost me like $15. No, $11, not 15. But that started everything. Yeah. And here I am today, overspending on anime figures. Next brand is Pure. Interestingly, I wasn't aware that an ecchi figure brand like Pure would show up in OneFest Shanghai. You know, China, right? But here we are with a few announcements over here, but they all look fairly tame. They are not that lewd. So maybe that was how they got away with it. All of these are from the same series called Iyana Kawo Sare Nagara Opansu Misete Moraitai. Something like See My Panso. I don't know. Yeah. And who doesn't want to see that? So here we have a pair of characters over here. What are their names? Let me have a look. Futaba Kano and Yuno, twin sisters. Okay. Moving up next, we have from the same series, the Pansu thing. Her name would be Kisaragi Kokoro. Yeah, while I read the name slowly, you guys get to see the picture, the artwork a little bit, and then we move on to the next one. I have no comments otherwise. From the same series, Mao, just Demon Girl. I like this one, purple hair waifu again. And here we have, what's her name again? Matsuura Shiori. Yep. So there we go. This one, the pose feels very forced for some reason. Yeah. You don't have to pull down your jeans if you don't want to, you know, what is up with that face over there. You obviously want to show it to me. And here we have another one from the same series. Oh, I love this. I love nuns because the best thing in the world is to slowly corrupt an innocent person, right? Here we have Takayama Maria. You know, one thing I've always noticed, right? Kazuma made it a point. Kazuma from Konosuba, he said that whenever you see a butler, the name is Sebastian. And for some reason, whenever you see a nun, it has to be Maria for some reason. Maria, yes. Up next, original character Chihiro Ginpatsu-chan. Yep, Silver Hair-chan. On Sunday, we had the one by Union Creative, and now we have one by Pure. And since Pure is a figure brand that makes 18 plus stuff, I think we are all hoping that this would be customable. No info on that yet, of course, still too early. And I have no idea what is up with the name Miyabi behind. Is that like a branch of Pure? A branch that makes safe for work figures? Yeah, I've never heard of Miyabi. And the last one here from Pure would be original character by Mashiro Shiki, Shino Mikuro. Oh, transparent part for the frilly parts. Must be translucent, yeah. So this one is nice, Gothic Lolita. I love Gothic. But Ginpatsu-chan, we'll see. Even if this one is customable, I still prefer the one by Union Creative, the one that just PO opened. Because I think the face is a lot cuter. Yeah, I like cute faces in general. So that is all for Pure. The next brand is Weibo's Chinese figure brand, not too many stuff over here. And this is a brand that makes very good quality figures, except that they are not making the stuff I want, so I haven't bought anything from them yet. After all these years. So here with Honkai Star Rail Little Cat series, in case you're unaware of, they have a series of low budget scale figures where they make these game characters look cuter than usual. It is a bit like super deformed, but not super deformed at the same time. It is more like a child's version. Yeah, very interesting take. And they are pretty popular because of the low price point, 9,000 yen roughly, and the quality is excellent. The next one here, Honkai Star Rail Rise Up. Rise Up is their low budget figure series, similar to Pop-Up Parade. Little series Topaz. Yeah, Topaz from Honkai Star Rail. And why are they covering the face? Or is that like the trademark of this character? I have no idea. Yeah, let me know down in the comments below. Next up, we have chibi figures from Honkai Star Rail, Robin, Dr. Ratio, and Adventurin, followed by Sparkle, Sunday, and Robin. Yeah, this brand makes a lot of chibi figures. I almost said edgy chibi figures. Up next, here we go, Weibo's very first Nikke figure. So far, they have turned a blind eye to Nikke, and then they saw their Chinese peers, Hobby Sakura, and pretty much every other brand going into Nikke. They wanted to make one as well, and they chose ELAC. So this is your third ELAC figure from this event. I hope you are satisfied. Whoever that complained about it in my video before this, 3 ELAC figures for you to choose from. And this one, what makes this one special is that you are getting additional faceplates, as you can see over here. But I'm sorry, Weibos, I think Hobby Sakura won me over, and good smile, for that huge cannon. I want my girls with big guns, right? It still looks good though, and if you're interested in this version for the faceplates, go for it, because Weibos, they make excellent figures. Up next, yeah, Tea Time Cats Girls. This is Orange Cat. I think this is already on pre-order. Same thing for this Siamese cat. They have already pre-order opened for a while. Not my kind of thing. And that would be the last figure from Weibos. Moving up to the next brand would be Siki Anime. Yeah, only one single figure over here. Original character by SG Shion. And this is a closer up picture. Is it Shion, the same Shion, Shion Elfin? Is it that Shion Elfin? I don't think so, right? I'm not too sure at this point. Yeah. I'm not exactly good at remembering original characters after all, but here you go. One single low budget figure from Siki Anime. I just reviewed their Ruhuna-chan Cat Girl, and that is an excellent figure. It feels expensive even. Up next, we have Snail Shell Studio action figure brand. So this is by Hatsuki. I just forgot. So there are two action figure brands in China that are doing very well. In fact, I would recommend them if you collect Figmas. They go well with your Figmas. The first brand is Snail Shell Studio, and the second brand is Hatsuki. Yeah. And the third one would be Animester. So this first figure over here, this is by Hatsuki. Because only one single figure from this brand, I grouped them together with Snail Shell Studio. So this is Girls Frontline 2 HK416 again from Hatsuki. Action figure, 1x12 scale, I think. The next one here, this is by Snail Shell Studio. Codename A07. Mecha stuff. And here we have EXP, muscle female body. Must be an accessory set, right? Sometimes they make extra accessories and then you can buy them and use them as swappable parts for action figures, right? Then we have Nikke Cinderella. Oh, this looks pretty good to me. Depending on how this turns out, it might be a better purchase over Figma. Yes. It really depends on what the joints are like and whether they use metal parts in the joints, and then there is also the pricing. Here we have Red Hood from Nikke. Action figure. Yes, it is an action figure in collaboration with Ami from the looks of it. And here we have Oreno Isekai Bouken, their own original line of figures. RPG EX Ninja. Alright, 1x12 scale, I believe. And here we have, from the same series, Dwarf. Yeah, they have this dwarf that you can shove inside a mecha that she pilots. This mecha over here can shove the dwarf inside. I love it. So this is also the dwarf apparently. And here we have RA02S Summer Special Force Tokiwa. And for some reason, we only get a rear view of the figure, not the front view. I couldn't find a front pic of her. At least that was the case a few days back. And here we have Samurai Showdown Majikina Mina, 1x12 scale. And also Snail's Otherworldly Adventure, their own original series. RPG EX, what is the name again? Demon Priestess. Alright, there we go. Her name is Demon Priestess, 1x12 scale as well. This is like One Piece Yamato all over again. And here we have SNK Heroines, Athena Asamiya, 1x12 scale action figure. Up next, we have Tactical Fox Mask, Fox Girl swimsuit version. You know, their character designs, man, their original characters are indeed very original. Here we have Yu-Gi-Oh! IP Masquerena. Is it just the bike or a set with the figure? But the bike looks really good, man. And that is all for Snail Shell Studio. There are not too many stuff as you can see. That is why I decided to cover action figure for once, because there are not too many. If it was the normal One Fest, there are too many stuff, then sometimes I skip past them. So the next brand over here is Solar Rain. We have Azalane Chao Ho and also Azalane Ying Sui. Yeah, I think Anigame already has a figure of this pair, right? On top of each other, if I remembered correctly. Now we have a swimsuit version over here, or summer version. And what is up with that background? Isn't that the same background we see in Japanese AVs? Right, that pool in the background, does that look familiar to you? I know you're too innocent, you never watched JAVs. No, you did. Don't lie to me. Yeah, that pool is so familiar. Up next, we have Blue Archive Kayoko dress version, Memorial Lobby version, not painted yet. It is kind of sad that we only get a partial stairs. I would like to see a flight going all the way up and then turning sideways. Then that would be better. This one looks a bit half-assed in my opinion. Yeah, face looks good, and there are already bootlegs of this figure, by the way. Yes, there are. Up next, I keep forgetting her real name and keep calling her I from Blue Archive Dress Memorial Lobby version. So this one was unpainted previously, 2 months ago in One Fest. She's now painted, and now that I get to see the figure, she does not look as detailed as many of Good Smile and Max Factory's scale figures, but if the price is lower, that is fine, right? I mean, the shading and the sculpt on the hair, it is not as intricate, but Memorial Lobby dress version. If you look at Good Smile's existing scale figures, they are kind of cheap as well, 15k, 17k, so maybe that is what they're aiming for. Not too detailed and lower price point, which is always welcome. Up next, we have a life-sized Black Rock shooter on display at Solarin's booth. I think they did the same thing in One Fest 2 months ago, so nobody bought this life-sized BRS, or rather they did not sell it. Up next, Yuzuriha Inori. It took us 13 bloody years to get a proper scale figure of her. Like, yes, Good Smile did give us a 1/8 scale figure of her 12, 13 years ago. I actually reviewed that figure on this channel years ago. And that figure was so disappointing because despite being 1/8 scale on paper, the figure is way smaller. It is somewhere around 1/9 or even closer to 1/10. I estimate around 1/9 to 1/9.5. Yes, it is that small. It almost feels like a slightly more detailed pop-up red figure. Granted, she was very cheap. She was roughly 7,000 yen back then. But still, the size was extremely disappointing. And now, more than a decade later, we finally have a licensed PVC figure brand that gave us the best Inori scale figure to date. Like, no contest, this is the best Inori scale figure by a licensed figure brand, and do I want it? Yes, I really want it. I am a big fan of Yuzuriha Inori from Guilty Crown. I'm a big fan of her character design and everything. And this anime, it was so disappointing in the sense that it was everything I wanted to see in an anime, right? Science fiction, mecha battles, beautiful character designs, beautiful music and sound effects. This anime was perfect initially, and then the second half of the series was like garbage. Yeah, I watched it all the way to the end, but it feels like the anime had so much potential only for them to ruin it. But I still love the character nonetheless. I want the figure. So thanks a lot, Solarin. Many people have been asking me, are there any updates for this figure? Because it has been months. I think since February, this figure was revealed that we never had any updates. Now we have it. Probably very close to pre-order open. Yeah. So far, we only got third-party resin figures. Many of them. Finally, PVC is here. Up next, this is random. Oreimo. Like 10 years later, why are they giving us an Oreimo figure? But I'm not complaining because they gave us Kuroneko or Gokoguri. I like her a lot more than Kirino, that little piece of CUNT. Yeah. Gokoguri is ideal waifu material. If I was the dude and then I have a girl who is so passionate about anime and cosplay and everything, and she is willing to date me, hell yeah, yes! Right? She's like perfect waifu material to me, but the stupid dude went for her own sister. His own sister, for some reason. I mean, otherwise the anime and the manga wouldn't be spicy enough, I suppose. They need more drama. I love seeing Kuroneko, but I'm not sure how many people would buy it today in 2025. Yeah. Close-up picture, her face is looking really nice though. Purple hair waifu again. You see this similar pattern with me? Up next, we have Misaki Shokuho from Wilganti. Yep. I love her antics. She is very mischievous. I love her antics in the anime, but Misaki Shokuho, if you can, try looking for the one by Alter. I think it is a swimsuit. Very heavily discounted, bargain bins by now. Yeah, and it is an Alter figure. It is going to be good. Get the Alter one if you can. Close-up picture. Yeah, I'm not happy with the details, you see. Lingerie, the kind you wear to bed, and I'm not sure about the detailing on the waist region, very lacking, which is why I'm telling you guys to get the Alter one, especially now in 2025. in October. She has bargain bins very heavily. If you go to Taobao in China, you can find one for like 500 Chinese yuan. Yeah. Up next, Ikaros and also Nymph from Sora no Otoshimono is getting a figure. I'm seeing this pattern. Solarin is making popular anime characters from 10 years ago. I'm starting to see this pattern over here, and I actually welcome it, right? Like, they are doing something very different from every other companies out there who are only chasing Azalin and Nikke. So, Ikaros and Nymph, very interesting, because Sora no Otoshimono as an anime series, I think season 1 and 2 was 2010 and 2012, and then there was a movie. If you haven't watched it, go and watch it. Hilarious AF. Go and watch it. Please do. I can't say much yet. This is only an announcement, but I'm happy to see a new figure from this series. And next up, we have Makise Kurisu Race Queen version from Steins Gate. Looking very good though. The paintwork, very heavy shading on her hair, on her stockings. Yeah, this is a good Makise Kurisu figure, but I'm staying away from Steins Gate for now. I don't want to buy anything from this series anymore. She would probably blend in very well with existing Azalin Race Queen figures from Apex Toys if you are collecting those. Next up, we have Super Sonico Exercise version. Such a shame, you know, nowadays, Sonico figures, no cast off anymore. And we get another weird Oppai shape over here, just like Sophia F showing earlier by Magic Arts. Weird Oppai shape. I know, the tube top is probably very tight, which is why they can push it up like a push-up bra, but still, I'm complaining too much about anime physics over here, which I shouldn't. That is all for Solarin. Interesting figures, I have to say. So now we move on to the next figure brand, Stargazer. This is a new brand, and they already have some resin, one resin figure on pre-order on OSGK. I covered it on Sunday, but it seems like they are making both resin and PVC figures. Very interesting. This trio of figures over here, they are most likely PVC, right? I don't have any info yet, but they are most likely PVC. This is from Brown Dust to Eclipse. Brown Dust 2. Cultured stuff again. Gunner stuff, right? And the next one here, yeah, this is the artwork that figure is based on. A broken horn, very interesting. And the last pair of figures over here, yeah, Nikke, Noah, and Blanc. So this pair of figures, me and a few people, we have been talking about it in my Discord server for the past 1 week. 1:4 scale. These two figures are 1:4 scale, and someone said that these two figures look way better in person if you visited the event, the Festival Shanghai, compared to these pictures over here, which aren't of great quality. And yeah, I believe you, right? After all, we are talking about a Chinese brand, and nowadays I trust them more than new Japanese brands. The next thing would be, someone mentions in my server that these two figures over here are way too good, that it is hard to imagine that this is a brand new company starting from scratch, making their first figures. They are probably a branch of an existing bigger figure brand, right? We don't know yet. And I wouldn't be surprised if it is. I just mentioned this earlier. I think it was the Chinese brand Bibi Buttons. Very new brand, but the very first figure they released itself is so good that they are already competing with experienced Japanese figure brands. It sounds almost impossible. And maybe, yes, they are related to some other brands out there. Anyways, that is a good thing, not complaining, right? We need high quality figures at a reasonable price point. So these two figures, I'm not sure yet if I want it. I'm not sure yet, even though it is Noah and Blanc, and their first 1:4 scales. It all depends on the price, which I think won't be cheap. Yeah, they look like premium scale figures to me rather than low budget ones. So that is all for Stargazer. The next figure brand over here is Sushing. Okay, so Sushing is also an action figure brand, just like Snail Shell Studio earlier, and also a brand you should keep an eye on, right? Not many figures over here. The first one, we have Armed Bunny series, right? A Bunny Tactical Response Squad, and every character on screen, they are getting their own 1:12 scale action figure. Yeah. It is almost a waste, no? Because the character designs are outstanding. It is a waste to make them into action figures alone. I would love to see scale figures of the very same characters. Yeah. Up next, we have Armed Bunny again, Attacker Luna, 1x12 scale Bunny Girl. The joints are kind of ugly, but she is giving you the middle finger. Next one here, Brown Dust 2 Lowen is getting a 1x12 scale action figure. And also Brown Dust 2 Wilhelmina. We need high quality scale figures of these two characters. Next up, we have Combat Shrine Maidens Kamito Kikyo action figure, 1x12 scale. And also, same series, Kamito Sakura. I think they are sisters from the looks of it. Yeah. What else do we have over here? Rapid Cleaning Unit series Combat Mate Mochizuki. Rapid Cleaning Unit. I love their naming sense. Here we have the Sails of the Sea God Olivia. This is something I would expect out of Kantai Collection and Azalane, but nowadays we only get Gunner figures, you know. And here we have an accessory. This is actually the ATV, that all-terrain off-road vehicle model kit. It is a model kit. You have to assemble it 1x12 scale. And here we have, this tentacle base. I believe it is already pre-order open. I saw it in Army and HLJ, I think, the accessory section. And here we have fluffy pajamas. Yeah, the pajamas you can buy for 1x12 scale action figures. Oh, she looks so comfy in that. And here we have mechanical movable base accessories. And that is all for Sushing. Now, this video is getting pretty long, but fortunately, we are near the end, right? Omikawa, a Chinese brand, very new brand, and it is a low-budget scale figure brand once again. They have 3 or 4 figures over here. Original character by Fymrie, how do you pronounce that? Fymrie. Fymrie, how do you pronounce that? Baseball Club Chan. This is the artwork it is based on. And then the next one here, we have Oyoko Aga by the same artist. Unrealistic Oppai shapes again. Sure, I know that the outfit is very tight, but still, I'm going to point it out. And this is the artwork. You see, they made the Oppai so big. The artwork isn't even that big to begin with. They made it bigger. Why? I mean, be loyal to the original artwork, please. Don't make Oppais bigger than they actually are. Yeah, and that coat, that upper pink color coat over here, she stole that from Alice, from Nikke. And the last one here, Stella S. Wait, let me double check. Her name is Stell S. Follin's channel. Must be a VTuber. Stell S. Follin, come on. Sometimes they make the names difficult to pronounce on purpose so that it feels more sophisticated, like a very sophisticated name for some reason. Alright, so that is all for Omikawa, low-budget Chinese figure brand. The next brand is Vertex, of course, right? Elf Village again. There are 2 of them over here. Elf Village 13th Zephyr. Another MILF that is pretty attractive. And here we have Elf Village 18th Hazel. So where is everything in between from 14th to 17th? Not ready to show us yet, right? They're still working on it. So Vertex is S tier as a figure brand. If you love their original Elf series figures, go for it. You won't regret it. Their craftsmanship, their quality control is so consistent over the past few years, they almost could do nothing wrong. Yes. Next figure brand, VK and Hobby. So we have Brown Dust 2 Eclipse Bright version. They put a sticker, see, on the artwork. And then the next one here, not even that lewd. Or maybe I'm too desensitized. Anyways, this is like wedding and lingerie. Something like that. And we have Brown Dust 2 Olivier. They put a sticker on the artwork. This is the artwork over here. Really, this is nothing. Just a cleavage. Up next, we have Bunny Suit Planning Sophia F. Showing again. This is okay. VKN's Hobby is a premium scale figure brand, not low budget. So this won't be cheap. 20k and up. Mecha Musume style. I love it. And here we have Cheongju from Girls Frontline 2. And this is the only picture I could find. I wish that we get a different angle. I want to see her face a little bit clearer, but this is all I have for now. So that is all for VKN's Hobby. And do we have another brand after this? Oh yeah, Wings Incorporated. I think this is the last brand. Yes, it is. Wings Incorporated or Soyokusha. This is Musashi from Azulane, looking fantastic. And the sad thing about Wings Incorporated, as usual, is their figures are usually excellent, but for some reason, their figures are always bargain bin after release. Yeah, and I don't even know what is the reason. It is not a big figure brand. They don't release many figures, but many of the stuff that they release, like 80% of them, they bin. There are only a few rare exceptions. And the next one here, the last figure for today, Wings Incorporated, Blue Archive Tendo Aris. Oh, that huge rifle case behind her. The one thing I like about anime characters and game characters in general from Japan and China is that they have characters that are so small, they are almost children itself, but they are carrying around weapons that are probably heavier than their own body weight. This is another example. Not complaining though because it looks amazing. And that is all for today's figure news fix on Wonder Festival Shanghai. Which figure caught your eye? Which one will you be pre-ordering on day 1? Let me know down in the comments below. I hope that you enjoyed this video and found it informative. If it is, please give this video a like and subscribe to this channel for more anime figure content every week. I often publish 2 or even 3 videos a week. So yeah, this is a very active channel. And until then, thanks a lot for watching. I will see you soon. Goodbye.